I got a fish to clean. I've never cleaned one, but I'm going to show you how to clean it today. Never cleaned one of these fish, never ate one. We're going to give it a shot. What that is? Do you know what that is? What I did when I caught this fish, and typically you're going to want to put them on ice right away, but the water was actually really cold where I was fishing. It was 46 degrees, so put them in the live well and then I bled them out. It's going to make the flavor of the flesh much better. I just cut the throat. It's been in the fridge for 1 day. I like them to get to rigor mortis before I clean them. It's just a better fillet that way, and they're easier to clean. I'm going to start near the belly. I'm going to go behind the pectoral, and I want to get as much of this meat up in the top of the head here as I can. There's a lot of meat up here, so I'm going to angle my cut up into here, and then I'm going to work along the rib cage, or work along the spine here up and over the rib cage and get that fillet off. We're going to leave the skin on for smoking. We're going to do both sides just like that and throw them in the smoker. Okay, so I'm going to start to make that cut. I'm going to angle it up into here because there's plenty of good meat up in here. I'm going to hold the fish down. Oh, I think I forgot to tell you. The number one thing cleaning fish is have a sharp knife. This one is pretty sharp, but always give it a little touch up. I'm just using this Smith's knife sharpener. It works really well. But sharp knife, super importante. I'm just gonna try and get it right up along that spinal area there, getting as close to the bones as I can. I don't know the names of the bones, but and then I'm gonna pull it back with my thumb, work my way in. And when I get down towards the tail, I'm gonna push my knife all the way through, and then I can feel that spine, and I'm just gonna ride the knife down along the spine and cut it all the way off. And just continue to work that fillet up and off the rib cage. There is a line of bones that you're going to have to cut through to get up and over the rib cage, but you can leave those in. They'll remove easily after smoking. See, there's, like I said, this is the first time I've cleaned a sheep head or a freshwater drum, and it looks like there's a fair amount of fat on the meat here. You can see that dark red, but there really isn't that much meat on a fish this size. I'm a little surprised, but we'll remove some of that belly meat, and then we'll throw this portion in the smoker. We'll leave it just like that. I'm going to soak it in salt water, brine overnight, throw it in the smoker, and should be delicious. Flip the fish over. I'm going to do side two. Same thing. This time I have the belly facing me. It just, the way I've done it, it makes it easier for me to make that initial cut. And then I'll spin them around and work that knife up along the bones there, right above the fin. I get down to the tail, punch it through, follow that spine down, come back here and lift that first cut up and just work that knife along there, and you're gonna come up to the base of the rib cage, and then you're gonna start working your knife up and over that rib cage. Just like that. Again, we'll remove the belly meat. Just like that. That's what we're going to end up smoking. There is one One line of bones right there. If you run your finger across it, you can feel them. If you were gonna fry up this fillet, you'd make a cut on either side of those bones to remove those for boneless frying. But for smoking, we're just gonna smoke it just like this. Skin is still on the fillet. There's a row of bones in there we'll pull out after smoking, but that's it. Stay tuned for the smoking portion. I think this is gonna be excellent. And we'll let you know how my first experience with tasting sheephead goes. I'm going to brine the fish fillets for 12 to 24 hours prior to smoking. I use a mixture of 2 tablespoons of salt to 2 cups of water. You can double the recipe for more fillets. Make sure the brine is well mixed. Then pour the brine over the fillets in a shallow pan, cover, and refrigerate overnight. The fish is soaked in the brine for over 12 hours now. I'm going to remove the fillets from the brine and dry them on paper towels. While the fish air dries, I will prepare the smoker. So we are going to get our smoker ready here. Just a basic propane smoker. It's got the water tray. We'll put water in there. It's got the wood chip tray, and then the burner underneath the wood chip tray. Then some racks. We're only going to need 1 rack, so I'll just use the 1 rack. I'll put a little bit of oil on the rack to keep the fish from sticking, and then we'll preheat it to roughly 250 to 300. And then we'll once it's heated up, we'll get the fish in there, we'll put the wood chips in, and we'll get it smoking. It's not a nice day. It's windy, it's rainy. The wind's gonna affect the temperature that I can get in this grill, so I'm gonna close up some of the vents a little bit, close them a little more than I normally would. And then I got a couple pieces of wood I'm gonna use to try and block some of the wind here. I'm just going to use some olive oil. Pour a little bit on a paper towel. I'll just take and wipe that grill down with that olive oil. Just coats it a little bit. The fish has scales on it, so I'm not too worried about sticking. If some of the scales stick, it's not a big deal. When I do trout or salmon, I like to get the skin oily as well as the grill, because the skin will stick to the grill if you don't get a nice coating of oil. When I preheat the grill, I like to have the water in there, so we'll go get some water. All right, my tray is full. I'm gonna turn on the gas. And eventually it'll start if the grill works properly, and it did. See the flame in there? You want a mostly blue flame. If you have a real orange flame, that's a carburizing flame. It's gonna turn your fillets black. So make sure you get a nice blue flame in there. I got it on high right now, but we can turn it down when we're cooking. And then that chip tray will go in over the top of here. Let's let that preheat up, and we'll come back and put the fish in. All right, our smoker is up to temp. It's about 275 right now. We want to maintain it between, I don't know, 250, right around there. I turned it down a little bit after preheating. Our grill's hot. The water should be hot in there. I'm gonna add some chips to our tray here. I'm using cherry. That in there. That baby's smoking up, and then we'll throw the fish in. The grill is heated up. It's up to 250. We got the wood in there, we got the water in there. I got a grill in there with oil on it. So throw the fish in. It's time to get smoking. It's good to let the fillets air dry a little bit before putting them in. Just get them nice and so they're not like coated in water. I'm using the center rack in here. This shouldn't take too long with just 2 thin fillets like this. we'll monitor it. It may take a couple hours, but I'm anticipating it going pretty quickly. But we'll check back with it in a little bit and show you how it's going. And how long you smoke the fish is really personal preference. I like mine a little drier. You might like yours a little moist, but it's really up to you how long you want to smoke the fish. But let's check back in a little bit. All right, it's been about an hour. We're gonna give it a look. Maybe add some more chips. Looking good. Nice and golden. I'll probably leave it in for a little bit longer yet, dry it out a little bit. But we got plenty of water in there. The temperature's been perfect. Chips are a little burnt up. Just give them a shake. Add a few more chips. Away we go. Shouldn't take too much longer. It looks like it's probably fully cooked. But like I said, I like mine a little drier, so we're gonna leave it in there for just a little bit longer. All right, guys. I think our fish is finally done. It actually hasn't been that long, about an hour and a half in there. That looks great. It's definitely cooked, fully cooked. We're gonna pull those out. I'm just gonna let them cool for a while in the ambient air, and then I'm gonna put them in the fridge for however long it takes to fully cool it down. And then we'll do a taste test, and I'll let you know what I think of my first smoked sheephead. That looks awesome. Can't wait to try it. But there's our smoked sheephead. And we're gonna give our sheephead a try for the very first time. I think it turned out excellent, at least appearance and smell wise. There's my first bite. It's good and salty. We definitely got enough salt on it. A nice hint of smoke flavor. And I'd say that is excellent. I would definitely make this again. I suggest trying sheephead. And like I said, some of the things you want to keep in mind are you're going to want to bleed that fish out immediately, and then you're going to want to cool it down, get it on ice. Fillet it out, soak it overnight in that salt brine, put it in the smoker for a couple hours, and here you go. You got an awesome snack. It tastes amazing. I'm definitely going to do this again. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it interesting and useful. Until next time, thanks for watching.